everyone, it's QuickyBaby and welcome back to World of Tanks, and today I've got a full tank review for you on this. It's the Prototipo 6. It is a tier 8 Italian premium medium tank, and in today's video I'm going to let you know whether this vehicle is just a better Progetto 46. And considering the Progetto 46 and the Mars are one of the most popular premiums in the game, yeah, I think this is an important video. This vehicle has better alpha damage at 300 than the Progetto 46, but worse intra-clip reload. It has significantly better armor on the side, the upper of the front hull, and the turret, which kind of behaves a bit like a Leopard turret. It's not a great turret, but it's going to be able to pull off some ricochets. Add to that and having more penetration on the gold rounds, wow, this is one that demands your attention. It's just a shame that you're going to have to gamble in loot boxes to be able to get it unless it's available in the future. So before I show you how majestic this vehicle can be on the battlefield, let's see how it stacks up to its competition. So the obvious candidate to compare the Prototipo 6 to is the Progetto 46. Both vehicles have exactly the same damage per minute. The Prototipo 6 has 14mm better standard penetration with AP, and the shell velocity on these two vehicles, the Prototipo 6 actually has an advantage. When you load gold, you've got 272mm of APCR pen with 1,320 meters a second shell velocity, which is better than the gold rounds on the Progetto 46. However, the intraclip reload on this gun for that 300 alpha is 2.5 seconds compared to 2. But I don't know about you, but I'd rather deal 900 damage in 5 seconds than 720 in 4 seconds. And also it means that when you just want to fire one and reload, you can out-trade other tanks. This vehicle also, unlike the Progetto 46, carries a wide amount of ammunition, so you can take a lot of AP for your good matchups and a lot of APCR for your bad matchups. Gun handling wise, this is pretty good considering this vehicle is using 105mm. And I should also make a passing mention that 105mm is very nice for overmatching tanks like a Stridsvagn S1 or going through any 30mm other plates. So the gun handling, 2.5 seconds aim time, that's not good for a medium tank. However, the accuracy at 0.32 is. This is a lovely consistent sniper. The gun handling, however, when moving and turning the turret is much worse than the Progetto 46. It's as if you weren't using a vert stab, and you definitely want to have snapshot on your gunner for the turret traverse on this vehicle. The gun depression is the same at 9 degrees, and so all in all so far, it's looking very similar than Progetto 46, but we're seeing some micro advantages with that alpha and also the penetration on the standard and the gold. Mobility wise, it's very similar to the Progetto 46. 50 forwards and 18 backwards is slower. The power to weight, however, is better with fantastic ground resistances, so you're easily going to be able to get up to that top speed limit fairly quickly. But look at this tank. 70mm of frontal hull, 35 at the side, which is massive because that means that all 105mm caliber guns, of which there are a lot in World of Tanks, won't be able to overmatch you like they can in the Progetto 46. And 170mm of turret armor, this thing is fabulous. So if I can compare these two tanks, let's imagine you're getting shot by 226mm of pen. The armor's not great, but you do have these nice wings here, which make you worse at side scraping, but better when you're using your gun depression and you're in a position like this. Now check out this turret. It does actually get these funky angles from the front where you can ricochet, a bit like when you're playing a Lion, for example. And also off the top, we can see that the mantler actually absorbs with 220mm of armor there around the gun and the mantler, and the top of the tank becomes a ricochet with like 300 and 400mm of protection. This vehicle absolutely destroys the Progetto. Absolutely destroys it. Look at this thing. The Progetto, even if you're using all of its gun depression, even with only 212 pen, it just goes in. And if you're using a 91mm, you're overmatching the side. The Progetto is getting trashed. This is crazy that the Prototipo 6 has so much better armor. However, it does have less hit points at 1,300, so maybe not a durability on this tank, as it won't scale as well as it will on the Progetto 46. So camo rating wise, again, huge advantage for the Prototipo 6. It has nearly a 12 camo percentage when moving compared to the Progetto's 9. That basically just means that the camo is a third better on this tank and well worth investing into a concealment crew. However, the view range sucks, and so even with a really good crew and a premium consumable, vents is not enough to get up to 445 meters unless you use Bond vents on this tank. Crew wise, you'll be happy to know that this vehicle just uses your Progetto crew with absolutely no problems. Crew skills that I would recommend for your commander: brothers, repairs, concealment, recon, emergency, and coordination on your Radio operator takes situation awareness, jamming, and firefighting, in my opinion, on this tank. Although if you don't use a premium consumable, maybe drop firefighting and take communications expert instead. For your gunner, I'd recommend brothers, repairs, concealment, snapshot, deadeye, and designated target on this tank. For your driver, brothers, repairs, concealment, smooth ride, off-road driving, and engineer is great, as this thing isn't really a rammer. And for your loader, I would recommend brothers, repairs, concealment, ammo tuning, adrenaline rush, and perfect charge, as intuition is really not that useful in auto-reloaders. Trading 3 shells for 1 shell, yeah, it's not great. However, if you have a lion, yeah, you probably do have intuition then, and I guess you're just going to have to deal with whatever crew skills you have from your high-tier Italians. Equipment-wise, I feel like this tank's really simple. I'm going to use turbo, vents, and I'm going to use vertical stabilizers on this vehicle all-round build to get into position, have a bit of firepower, and have a bit of gun handling to mix it up a little bit. For my second build, I'm going to be using vents, vision system, and coated optics today. However, I'd like to clarify for any of you sweaty players out there who use a premium consumable and you've got a great crew on this tank, you could actually change the vents to bond vents, and that will actually give you 445 meters view range with only vents on this tank. And if you do that, that will allow you to be able to use an exhaust instead of the coated optics. And while you have worse view range, man, your camera rating will become savage on this tank. You'll be able to get up to, with a very good exhaust, 37-38% while moving, which makes this able to get around the map and then just have gun depression and damage to be able to get there. Absolutely savage. Field mods wise, take the module durability increase, improve the accuracy of this vehicle, followed up with some camera rating, and I'd recommend the scouting slot so that you can be able to get your vision system or your vents if you want to put it in there in conjunction with the turbo boosted. But that's quite enough jibber jabber. Let's take this brute out onto the battle. All right, so let's roll out on Fjords in a nice matchup against tier 7 and tier 8 tanks, and you'll see that I am using vents with a vision system and coated optics. And the reason why I'm doing that is I want to dig out all of those juicy triangles on the enemy team who I know are going to be sitting in that like E8 area, and the vision system will allow me to do that. This vehicle, exhaust optional, really. You got 30% camo when you're moving, even without the exhaust, with the build that I've used. But again, this tank, I am definitely putting bond vents in this thing, just to be able to only have to use vents and not have to worry about using the coated optics. But again, your mileage will vary depending on whether you really want to invest the bonds into just a tier 8 premium. We've got so many tier 8 premium Italians now with the Progetto 46, and we've also got the Mars in the game. Nearly forgot. How can I forget the abs? You know, I guess they just don't have the impression on me, right? So I spot this Miel out. The Miel doesn't see me, and so that means that they can't advance back into the position, which allows me an opportunity to get forwards and hopefully start to apply some pressure to the enemy team. I love this aggressive play. Nobody seems to really care or want to play in this part of the map, but I do. And we're going to catch the Panther out. I'm hoping that the Mittler in the center of the map is going to start to slam some shells in, and really good. Man, they're taking hits. I didn't expect them to take so many hits. Maybe the TDs as well. Looks like some tiny little TD is going after them. It looks like an E25, but I don't see an E25 in this matchup. Is that a Black Prince? I think it was. A sniping Black Prince from the back of the map. Well, Mr. Black Prince, you're being my hero here, because I need to try and whittle down these tanks as quickly as I can. So, looking for a shot on the M2Y, I'd like to clarify that's some pretty horrible gun handling if you don't use vert stabs. Yeah, I mean, while you can do some funky stuff with the vision system and the coated optics, and you will be just as accurate when you're fully aimed, boy does it take a bit of a while to get there. However, I'd still use this build for a large amount of maps because we could just dig them out. Look at this, we've got some huge vision. And one of the most important things about your auto reloaders is that you don't interrupt the fire. Almost goes without saying now. The game is long like this. Or should I say we've been playing water tanks for a little while, right? But this vehicle, the only round that is really brutal with its damage per minute is the last one. So you'll see why I'm holding my shell here. I'm holding my shell because why do I need to? I might need all 3 shells. Here's the other 2 that I need, right, to get rid of the Jagdpanther. Just clown them. And that's why you hold the shells. You reload faster the more shells you have in the magazine, so therefore don't waste your shells until it's necessary. And that was just peak auto reloader perfection, right? We saved the shells, kept calm under pressure, didn't dump out our damage, and that means that we had enough to be able to get the job done. And it also means that we're gonna have our hit points to be able to go after this Miel. Where are you? Oh, you like shooting me at the start of the battle? I don't think you liked what I did to you there, mister. And we are just absolutely flowing in this battle. My team are still down on hit points. We've done 4,400 combined that we have seen. Chopper gets a shot at me in the side. That wasn't very nice of you. That wasn't very Christmassy. I got to stop saying that. It's March, right? But hopefully we're going to be able to pack a little punch. So one of the things that I didn't mention in the statistics review, but you didn't all skip that part, did you? So you'd know if I missed it, right? Sorry. Is that this vehicle's reloads are pretty uneven. It has 9 when it's fully loaded, well, when it's got 2 shells loaded, 11 when it's only got 1 shell loaded, and 15 when it's empty. Accordingly, you probably don't want to fire that 3rd shell unless it's an emergency. It's a bit like a Progetto within that regard, where with the Progetto, you can just go whiff, whiff, whiff. Or in the Progetto, you should probably go 1, 2, and then reload, because the 3rd shell's an emergency. But in this tank, that 3rd shell is really an emergency. 15-second reload when you've only got 300 alpha. That is, what is that, 1,200 damage per minute? Ooh, that's stinky compared to the 2,000 that you'll have when this thing has 2 shells loaded. So just be careful. Try not to whiff your shells unnecessarily. Build up strength by holding those shots, and then you'll be able to live longer and get more damage out all the way through the battle. But also, don't get yourself into some stupid situation where you're holding forever, because if you hold forever, it's not going to go well. But oh yeah, that VK gets shut down, and we don't even have to fire the 3rd. So does that mean that we're going to reload faster to get this contradictious? Sure does, but it means we're also not going to get the kill. So we're 5 minutes into this game, and we've just absolutely shown everything there is to about the Prototipo 6. We rocked and rolled by digging out the TDs. We showed calm, controlled, collected, auto-reloading play there to not waste our shells. And we're now just reaping the profits of those calm, collected plays by just farming at the end. This thing's brutal. We're going to wait just a second to be able to get the extra shot in. Keep that DPM high. Don't waste him. And then the Contradictions is hopefully going to shoot someone else. Will he, won't he? Will he, won't he? Oh man, easy. We don't quite manage to track him there. A little bit awkward. In this situation, I'm probably just going to try and dump 2. Oh, clutch shot round the corner there, even without the vert stabs. Who needs him anyway, right? Nah, I'm trolling. And boom, baby. Look at that, ladies and gents. We can't if I'm big. 7,000 combined in 6 minutes. And a 1/3 of the enemy team destroyed. This was like 1,650 base experience. Easy ace any day of the week and pretty much any premium. Man, this tank is an absolute force of the battlefield. Okay, I hear what you're saying. Uncle QuickyBaby, please go and use vert stamps on this tank. And also, you're shooting tier 7s. It's unfair, right? Okay, well, how about I go into the worst possible +2 matchmaker, which a lot of people have let me know recently is not desirable. And I grit my teeth and I deal with it, right? Of course, I'm going to grit my teeth and deal with it by playing with a premium consumable and loading lots of gold rounds. But, yeah, that's World of Tanks, right? You don't hate the player, you hate the game. Look how much more snappy that tank is with vert stabs. Much, much, much better. However, it's not going to be better if I can't see my opponents. So you pick the setup for the map. If I'm on something like Redshire, Prokhorovka, Malinovka, Moravanka, I'm going to take the vision system with coated optics, or the vision system with the exhaust, depending on what flavor of vents you use on the tank. However, I'm on a map where I don't need that extra spotting prowess. Look at the minimap, we can actually see how poor my view range is without coated optics on this tank. Then I can kind of just chill and just make this work. That's what my plan is. This vehicle feels oh so much better than a Progetto 46 in a hold down position. Look, I'm not trying to say that its armor is good. Its armor is definitely not good, but it's not awful. The Progetto 46, I would not poke, because A, you've got less alpha damage, B, you've got no, should we say, rolling save. On this tank, I feel like you roll a die 6, and if they roll a 1 or a 2, then they don't pen you. That's how I feel. I feel like you can have some just luck with this tank. But also, well, yeah, that's what I'm trying to say, is that this vehicle's just so much more worth risking it than the Progetto 46. If I'm playing the Progetto 46, I'm usually trying to get myself in a position where I'm playing like a support tank, or I am playing vision and trying to shoot tanks that are ill-prepared and can't see me. Funnily enough, this vehicle will actually be better for that because it has that extra alpha and also it has the way better camo. But this vehicle is also equipped to not have to do that because it has that turret armor, it has that upper hull armor, and it can be able to pull off those ricochets. I don't know what this Caliban's plan is, but you know what? If you want to drive in front of me, bro, that's great. But I'll try and get out of your way, but there's nothing I can do about that. The Caliban probably just tilted out. Should have been relaxed. I don't really feel like that was a me issue. I think that was definitely a Caliban issue. Unfortunately for me, it means that our team has lost a third of its players, including our Arty. So well done to Arty for, I don't know where the Arty is. Where is the Arty? I can't even see where the Arty died. It must have been somewhere stupid. Really? Really? Oh, it looks like he got caught at the back over there without managing to do anything. Oh well, I'll take it away here. And hopefully I'm about to pick up the first kill for our team. Yeah! But unfortunately, the VK put a round right through my mantlet there, just the upper part. So I didn't get my roll save. I guess he rolled 3, 4, 5, or 6. However, the Basante didn't. Look at that. Roll save. Actual nice ricochet on this vehicle. Looks like it got absorbed by my mantlet, maybe. And I'm going to punish the Basante here. 1 right through the side. 2 right through the side. I got you, my friend. And, oh no, I missed the shot. And not only I missed the shot, now I've got like an 11-second reload. That sucks. And I'm probably going to end up with my Minotauro dying now because I suck at World of Tanks. Oh well. So, at this stage of the game, these gold rounds are just so much better than anything that you can do with a Progetto 46. They really are. Unfortunately, I'm not the only one with good gold, but I think the Minotauro just tanked that Jaeger. So I'm just going to chill, wait for the reload, make sure I'm fully loaded in these situations, and hopefully this AMX is going to make a misplay. Oh, baby, that's not good. Oh, that's even worse. Don't do that. Don't give me an inch. I'll take a mile. I'll take a mile, bruv. Now we're just going to relax again. So this tank, you know, you can just dump out that 900 damage in 5 seconds. You do have to recover for quite a while afterwards. But this tank just feels oh so much more rewarding for that. It's the Progetto 46 is kind of like 1-2 in 2 seconds, and then you hide. 1-2. This vehicle is kind of best played as singles, doubles where needed, but kind of just also good for just dumping out the shells. I was very worried about sitting in front of a Jaeger there, as you can see. I don't want to lose all of my hit points. 50% of the time this guy's going to kill me in a single shot, and if he kills me in a single shot, this game is done and dusted. However, would I be penning these shots with a Progetto 46? I've only got like a 50-50 of going through the Jaeger with the 272mm of APCR pen that I have. Progetto 46 was like, what, 250 pen? Something like that? That wouldn't be going in. And so what you can do with this gun, so much better than what you can do with the Progetto 46. And he fired, right? So I get to harass some more. Easy shot into the lower plate. Should we fire the extra one? And I decide that I'm only like a 50-50 even if I pen him to kill him here. So if he's not going to hide his lower plate, I'm just going to get more dangerous. There's the low roll, right? Now imagine if I'd fired the third there. Then I would have been in a real tricky situation where I didn't have an extra shell. Or I would have just been in a worse DPM situation. When you're in a game like this where you're down a tank, even though you've done 4,000 damage against higher tier vehicles. Oh man, that Jaeger's got me there. That's not cool, is it? Awkward, awkward, awkward. Oh well, I'm going to try and get my butt in cover so Andy SpongeBob on the enemy team doesn't click me. Thought it was angry SpongeBob there for a second. That's a terrifying idea, isn't it? But now that I see the Jaeger who doesn't see me, I'm actually going to get out. And I get spotted again. That's pretty awkward. Goodness. I'm not sure if it was the S1 or it was the Jaeger that saw me. But yeah, the last thing that I want to do in that situation is just get caught. So I felt like backing off. I think it's safer right now. I kind of want them to commit. I want the S1 to commit. I want the Jaeger to commit. I'm kind of feigning a retreat right now. And if I feign a retreat, especially with the artillery reload, I'm just hoping that I'll be able to get the shots in. Unfortunately, I only have 5 gold rounds left. Hopefully, I'm not going to need those against the Foch and the Tiger Mouse. I might do. Who knows? Maybe I've been a little bit liberal with the gold here, or maybe not liberal enough. You know what the best thing is to do? Take 2 builds. Take one with lots of AP, and take one with gold as well. And oh man, Vertstab's paying dividends there. We get that shot in. finish off the S1, finish off the Jaegeru, and suddenly this game is looking very good. Well, actually, I didn't finish off the S1. I've shot, and then it looks like one of my team. I don't know. Who was it? Probably the 7772 finished them off. But boys and girls, just lovely. 4,900 combined. Now we get to hunt this artillery. I'm loading regular rounds now. I'm going to keep that gold mag in case I really have to deal with the front of a tiger mouse. I'm not going to go through his cheeks, but I'll be able to punish him anyway. Oh, I love watching piggies try and run away. You are an angry SpongeBob now. Rest in peace. And now I was thinking, like, what, is this actually winnable? Have I actually managed to get 4 kills in the valley? You'd never have done that in a Progetto 46, even in a nice matchup, let alone in a nasty matchup like this. And now this is the beautiful stage of the game where this tank has more than enough camo to waltz around the map and dictate how the fight is going to go. So the Foch was last spotted on full hit points. Luckily not full hit points. I'm going to fire one at him, but I ricochet what off looks like his weak point. I'm not going to sit still. The Foch B has to hit me a bunch of times. The Tiger Mouse is spotted ahead, and I'm thinking, how am I going to deal with this Foch? How am I going to deal with this Foch? Well, how about I get him to commit on a silly slope? That's how we're going to deal with the Foch. We find a shot in. We get his side. Not exactly perfect, but I didn't take any damage. Beautiful, right? 5 kills now. 5,800 combined. We're going to do a little bit more against this Tiger Mouse. Wish I had those gold rounds right about now. Looks like I can go right through his cheek front there. Was that a misplay? Oh, no! Disaster! No Top Gun for us. But still, a great game nonetheless. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that is a meaty game for a Tier 8 Premium. Meaty, meaty, meaty game. 1,856 base experience, and we made 42,000 credits even after we supplied the premium consumable at full price. I don't think a Progetto 46 would have won this game, and I don't think a Progetto 46 would have felt okay against Tier 10 tanks. So 1 for the money, 2 for the show, 3... I'm gonna try and figure out why Wargaming needs so much money right now. Honestly, this vehicle, I think it's overpowered. That's my conclusion about this tank, boys and girls. This is the definition of power creep in World of Tanks. The Progetto 46 is a balanced tank. It's a balanced tank. It's a balanced to a good tank. Wargaming have basically gone down the list of vehicles that they know are popular inside the game, and they see, wow, everybody plays the Progetto 46. Let's make a better Progetto 46, so that all of their Progetto 46s now feel irrelevant because everybody wants to play the Prototipo 6. What is there to say? Wargaming have taken one of the most popular premiums, one of the most fun premiums to play over the years, and they've basically just made a better premium. I think this vehicle is outrageously OP, and the only way that you can be able to get on your hands on this tank will be in loot boxes. Now let me clarify, when I say that this vehicle's OP, it's not OP like, oh, I play BZ176 and I have 800 alpha and I have ridiculous armor. But if you know how to play World of Tanks, and you know how to work this gun, and you know how to work the auto-reloader, it's basically just a better Progetto 46. You've got more alpha, more standard pen, more gold pen, you've got better camo, and you've got armor. And all of those things are things that win games. It's taking a balanced vehicle, a Progetto 46 that's, should we say, up towards the top third of win ratio of all of the Tier 8 premium mediums, and just putting this one in. It's almost as if Wargaming just realize, the Progetto's mid of the list and it's so popular, we can make a load of money off the community if we just make... It's not even that different when we think about it. It's basically just, it's exactly the same gameplay as a Progetto 46, but it's just better. Why did we need it? Why couldn't we have had this tank at Tier 9, for example? Put it in as a Tier 9 premium, give it a better alpha than it has, maybe 360 alpha or something. It would have been similar to the standard B, I guess. But they could have still made it different in some way. Maybe give it 4 rounds, but make it so that the final round is like a lion? I don't know. Use that kind of interesting mechanic. There's so much more than Wargaming could have done with this tank to not just make it replace a Progetto. Maybe Wargaming realise as well, well, but the Progetto, everybody likes to play it in front line because it's great. Auto-reloaders are great in front line, and if they put this thing at tier 9, well, it's not going to be in front line, right? Yeah, that's the situation that I feel myself in. So, when I come to a conclusion about this tank, bounce, 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 bounce. Ah, nice low roll, mate. No hard feelings. When I come to a conclusion about this tank, I've got two kinds of conclusions. One conclusion for the player out there who doesn't care about the balance of World of Tanks, doesn't care about the longevity of World of Tanks, doesn't care about the power creep in World of Tanks, blah, 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 blah. This is a fabulous premium if you're like me. But let me clarify, I like my auto-reloaders in World of Tanks. I like my auto-reloaders. What did we get here, by the way? We got like 7,000, nearly 7,000 combined. Great. I love my auto-reloaders in World of Tanks. I love my line. I love my Progetto. I like my Rinoceronte. I like my Basante. I like all of those tanks. I can make them work. This gun mechanic might confuse a few players, but if you get your head around it, and if you make a Progetto work, this will be good. So it's a really tricky position because it's just clear that Wargaming don't really care about the balance of premium tanks at tier 8 anymore. They realize that the only way that they're going to sell tanks at tier 8 these days is if they just make tanks that are just too good to exist at tier 8. All of this with multiple loot boxes this year. We had a Jason Statham's Black Market this year. We had an assembly shop this year. We had a golden Waffenträger costing 100,000 gold. Jesus, it's an expensive time to be a World of Tanks player. And this vehicle, it's just pure power creep. It's so similar to the Progetto that it's basically just telling everyone that this is the new Progetto. And if you have the Progetto, well, and you have a Mars, well, sucks to be you. Sucks to be you, because this is the new better tank. This is the 2025 edition vehicle, which can play against tier 10s, with better gold pen, with armor that can build to pull off some ricochets, and with that extreme camo which will allow you to stay hidden advancing into positions. I just feel very sad as someone who has a Progetto 46 and has a Mars, and I know that a lot of the player base out there will be in that position considering it's such a popular tank. And all of those players who have either spent money on the Progetto or they grinded it to get it in a mission marathon, that was a very long time ago that you would have been able to do that, have really been kicked in the teeth by Wargaming now that why would you want to play that when you can just play a better one? Well, I guess it comes down to whether you're willing to gamble up to several $100s to be able to get your hands on this. And even if you're a tank collector, you're going to have to buy on average 75 boxes or up to 150 boxes, and that's if you've got all of the other tier 9 premiums that you might have to get first before you get this one. It's tricky, man. Why does Wargaming need so much money right now? I know companies need money, but why does Wargaming need so much money now? Is it because they've spent so much money on other failed projects that just haven't been successful? Who knows? Anyway, I think that they could take money from World of Tanks in a much smarter and less disrespectful way than basically just cloning a Progetto 46, making it better, and releasing it inside gambling loot boxes. Anyway, that's my conclusion for today. Really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give a thumbs up. If you hated it, give a thumbs down. And let me know in the comments down below what you think about the Prototipo 6. Are you kind of offended that it's basically just a much better Progetto 46? If you are, let me know why. And if you're watching this video as it goes live on Wednesday, I'm going live all day on twitch.tv/QuickyBaby with brand new drop tokens. So come and grab them while I have fun in World of Tanks. That's what I do. I have fun in World of Tanks, at least some of the time, right? It's definitely not a fun time to be a Progetto 46 owner, though. That's for sure.